Alright, so I got the car already. I got the livery and all the aesthetics as close as you can get to the actual car in the game. So now I'm going to go through the build with the engine and tires, because I'll have specific things I pick for those starting off. As far as like the weight reduction and stuff, I think I'm gonna leave it stock for now, because I know the car will be difficult to handle. But I'm gonna go off of one of the posts I made earlier last year and use that as a reference, so we know that the car has 500 horsepower and has a 2.2 stroker in it. And basically, I'm going to assume we're basically just going to be maxing this car out, and then we'll have to go back in and tune down the car, 'cause I'm pretty sure this will make over 500. But I'm going to go through real quick and I'm going to try and get it up to a 2.2, which looks impossible because I think that's all I can do, and it goes to a 2.1. But there's not a lot of things that I could try and replicate in the actual engine itself in this game, since it doesn't really go that in depth. So essentially I'm basically just going to put on all this racing stuff, because that's what they built the car for, is to go racing around Scuba. I mean, they got 6-pot calipers up front and whatnot, so I mean, this is all I can really do. They probably didn't have a brake balance controller. They obviously have the suspension. They had a 6-speed sequential in the car, so obviously we're just gonna go through and throw all of this on it. And turbo, looks like they had a T67 turbo, which probably isn't this high RPM turbo, but honestly that's probably where it's gonna, what we're gonna have to use to get to where we want. And I'm looking at the torque numbers here, but I'm not sure how to convert their torque figures to pounds or foot-pounds, and I don't feel like looking it up real quick, but we'll just throw on the big boy and we'll go to there and do that. And then we got the cams, 2-way diff, I don't think I'm gonna mess with ballast. So 515 looks like what this car will max out as, and they obviously didn't use racing slicks on the car in real life, so we're not going to be using those. But I'm not sure if I should go with sport soft or sport medium, because if we're being super realistic, I mean, they made this car in the not late 90s, but early 2000s, whereas tires weren't very good back then, so I'm not sure how close a sport soft would be to the actual tire that they used, which is AO48s. So their AO52s now is what they have. And I assume like a sport soft to be like a 100, maybe like a 100 treadwear tire, like a R888 or something, and the sport medium to be like a 200. So we'll go with that, and we'll see how it ends up. God, I really don't want to do a weight reduction, because this car is going to be retarded to drive. But we'll knock it down to 500 horsepower here real quick, and I'm going to go through and try and tune it to what I can. I mean, I don't really know how to tune in this game, so I'm just going to be hitting buttons and hoping it all works. But oh god, the car's not going to have any front end. Not with that lack of downforce, because we're probably just going to set it all maxed out. But I'm not sure if that has to do with the aero, with that front lip that it has on it. I wonder if I put the other one if it'll let me put more front end on it. Even though it doesn't really go with the aesthetic of the car, for the sake of the driving experience, because it's gonna suck if it just pushes around the entire track. Go through and we'll put this front lip on it, and we'll see if that affects the downforce capabilities of the front end, so I can go above 100. Now we're waiting for this stupid thing to load, because I have a PS4, not a PS5. At least that's why I assume it takes forever. Okay. So let's go see if that actually allows me to put more downforce on the front end. No, it doesn't, so that sucks. Okay, so we'll go to the scuba and we'll see what we can do. But I wish I could be a little bit more accurate. Hey Louie, I'm doing alright. I figured I'd try something a little bit different and try and remake some of these cars that we enjoy, even though there's a lot of limiting factors to doing that on this game. Try and find cars that'll fit in those parameters, that'll work out. 'Cause I know some of the cars can't get as much horsepower, I was thinking about making one of the Subarus, one of the WRXs, but I don't even know if they can get enough power in the game to actually try and replicate it. Let me see what kind of time this car ran. I have no idea. So I'm definitely gonna knock down this camber starting off, because I'm not gonna try and replicate what the tuning setup was in real life. Whatever that was, I'm gonna try and make it drivable for me here in the game. I didn't even put a fully customized diff, so that sucks. Not paying attention. And we'll just start with some weird, funky stuff. So it looks like the car at the time ran a 59.1, and so we'll see how close we can get to that. I'm not sure, because I don't think I've maxed out a GC8 on here. Wonder if I can check my cars real quick. Yeah, let me see, because I don't know if I have one fully built. Half my garage is Nissans. So yeah, I have this one, but I'm not sure if it's detuned at all, so it's 498 on a GC8. But I know I was gonna try and do like that JUN bug eye, but there's no bug eye in this game. So I was just probably gonna do a GC8 anyways, but that thing's got 600 horsepower. And so I don't feel like it's a fair representation. I want to try and get as accurate as I can. That way it's worth it to a certain extent. We'll give this a lap real quick and we'll see what I can get. And I'm drifting already, and the front end's not gripping. So this is going to be just like the video, where it's just sliding around the entire track. Except I'm not Taniguchi or whoever was driving the car. Oh my god. This is a pain. I'm gonna try and talk as I go around, but I'm not good at multitasking. But we're gonna try and do what we can and put down the power that we can. But I know this is just gonna be a big pain to try and replicate any of this. But they ran a 59.1 and I am very far off. So let's see if I can keep it together somewhat. Oh god. Need to find some braking points. See if I can short shift to help. But one thing I hate about this game, like, I came from Forza, and this is like my first Gran Turismo game that I've played, and I hate how these street cars feel compared to Forza. Like, the physics altogether are completely different, and I much rather prefer like the style of this game. Like, it's actual sim and you can feel it, but like the characteristics of these street cars are just not fun, in my opinion. Like, the cars don't grip up like they should, at least to my opinion. Like, even if you put racing slicks on it or whatever, like, the car still feels like trash. Like, you can hop in a Group 3 car or a Group 4 car or something and put on sport car tires, and it'll feel way better than this car ever will with racing slicks. Like, I hate how you can't turn a, like, say like this stock S15 into like a Group 3 or Group 4 car. Like, I know Need for Speed Shift, I think, kind of dabbled with that a while back, where you could do that kind of things, but I like kind of that escalation of the cars. So you can take like a street car and make it handle like an actual race car, like you should be able to in real life, but these cars just, they're not, like, the game doesn't allow you to do that, and it holds you back, which sucks, but it is what it is. And then I'm also on a controller, so trying to manage this car is more difficult than with the wheel. I feel like if I had a wheel, like, you could carry out some of the drifting and the oversteer, you know, rather than me having to be so correcting in my inputs. Like, it's not smooth at all. And then, well, I feel like my steering inputs can be smoother, but like with like steering while giving accelerating inputs, like, it's very difficult on a controller. But I just honestly need to learn how to drive. So we'll just try and focus on that. I'm gonna give it another lap around with the car set up like this, and then I'm gonna try and mess with the suspension settings a little bit and see if I can get it to do something so I can drive a little bit better. Maybe adjust the gears a little bit, make them a little bit shorter so I can be in third around some of these corners instead of second. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'd like to try a wheel on this game, because I like, it feels good, you know, like I can tell from just using the controller, it is sim-like, like more than Forza is, but you just gotta deal with what I've got. So we're exactly 3 seconds off, just about. So I'm gonna mess with the springs. I've tried watching like some videos on how to tune cars in this game, and it says like there's a range that street cars like versus like Group 3 cars or Group 4 cars, but I'm not sure. I just want to play around with it and try like a few of the extreme settings. So like here we have the stock spring rates or natural frequency or whatever, and I'm just gonna try and jack them up and see, because let's see, this car in real life had 8.9k springs in the front and 10.7, so I'm not sure what that is relative to natural frequency. But let's say we can do like 250, and then we'll do like 275 in the back, and we'll see what that does. Give it half a degree of, or not, that's not half a degree. We'll give it that amount of towing in the rear, and we'll just see what it does. I'm gonna drop the rear sway a little bit too, since it already is tail happy. And then I'm just gonna adjust this and hope it, we'll see what it does. Sometimes it doesn't adjust like I want it to, but we'll see. Yeah, the gearing doesn't feel any different, but then I'll hop out and I'll hop back in, and then it changes completely like it should have been. But we'll see how this goes, and it feels like honestly the braking distance has lengthened. Oh god. And it just feels like you're going so slow, and that's what I hate. Like, this car isn't going this slow around these corners, and whenever it was at the track before, you know, and you can't exactly recreate the cars just like they were in real life, you know, but I'm gonna see what I can do. But like, this is so, like, the cornering speed is just awful. 50 km around a corner, that's what, like 30 miles per hour or something, like you're going through a neighborhood. Like, it shouldn't be like that. And then it just pushes, dude. Like, it's got, well, given I'm on sport medium tires, but I don't know if I should just try and maybe, like, I want to be as authentic as I can, so I don't want to put racing slicks on the car, but maybe that's what it'll take for it to feel like the car should feel. But I really don't want to do that, because they're actual slicks and they're on a street tire whenever they do this. They're not on full slicks, but I can try a sport soft. Oh, absolutely. Like, for street cars, like, this game's awful. You know, it's all geared towards GT4 and beyond cars. You know, like, that's what the game's designed around, so you can't take this, like, these cars and make them feel good. They're still gonna be crappy, you know, even in stock version. They don't, in my opinion, handle like they should. Like, this car is only, like, it's 500 horsepower, and it's stock weight, so it's 2,700 some pounds. It's not like it's got a ridiculous amount taken out of it, but with the more weight, it should be able to, like, if you're thinking in real life, I don't think it would handle like this, you know, even with like a crappy setup or whatever. Like, in real life, this car would handle way better than it is right now. And it's got racing pads on it, and the rotors and whatnot. Even with these sport medium tires, I feel like it should be doing a lot better at braking than what it is right now, but it's not. But we're just gonna try and do what we can. Maybe stay a gear higher than what I have been, and see, because that should help us get out of the corners. But like, you barely get on throttle and you're swinging around like that, and it just pushes through there. I love going through that corner, but I can't push the car through there. You gotta be so like gentle, because these cars are so temperamental, retarded. I'm not sure what I got. I think I got a 2.1 with the other settings, so this is still a pretty trash time. So let's see. But like, you can see, like, even increasing the spring rates like that, you can see the body roll in the car, and it's like not good at all. Like, it feels like crap, dude. So let's actually try some sport soft tires and just see what that does, and see how the car feels. Didn't even put them on. And then I don't know why I exit out of that if I'm just gonna go right back into it. Let's see. Hello, doggy. Give me a second. Okay. So I'm gonna knock these spring rates back down just to see, because it may be too stiff and causing the car to just push. I don't want, so this will be what I assume relative to the stock balance. So maybe since it's oversteering, we can try and, well, let's do 240, 240, and we'll see how that goes. As far as bumping and damping, I'm not really sure, because I can't feel the difference in this game whenever I mess with any of this stuff. We'll see what this does. Probably gonna be the thing that's gonna affect it the most is probably just gonna be the sport tires, sport soft tires. So we'll see how these do first. And now I can feel that gears have actually changed from what I did last time. Still feels like crap. But yeah, like coming out of that corner, like all these chicanes, like it's really difficult to be smooth on your steering input coming out of these corners and smooth on throttle at the same time, because you like, it's just so much more difficult. I don't know how to explain it. Sorry, I keep getting interrupted, and it's annoying. So, try and do this again. honestly really don't know what to talk about anymore right now, but I'm gonna try and do what we can with this car. Hopefully we can get somewhere. Focus on my braking points and trying not to oversteer out of corners. But it feels really slow whenever you're trying not to. But it actually is faster. That's weird. So there we go. We're getting close. Almost so that's a second, a little over a second off of the actual time of the car around Silvia. But I don't think I can get to it with my limited ability of tuning and these sport tires. Yeah, I can understand that. Like, all-wheel drive cars are basically what I think to be the easiest cars to build in this game. Like, these rear-wheel drive cars are just such a pain because of the physics and how they make these cars feel. But the all-wheel drive, I mean, it basically allows you to, it's just easy to drive. I mean, you have twice as much more grip, it feels like, compared to these cars, and I could pull out a all-wheel drive car with same weight, same horsepower as this car, same tire, like, probably no aero, and I could run a ton faster than this car. But it's just so much more controlled. You don't have to worry about the oversteer coming out of the corners or whatnot. And they don't even seem to understeer too bad. But better exit on that one, but if I could not keep screwing up that corner, I think that would help a lot. But in the video, this car was sliding around a lot, so I mean, that, at least that part's accurate in the game. This car slides around and it's not very maneuverable. Getting closer, not blowing that corner completely. But I was hoping that I could get this car close to the time it ran at Scuba, and then see what it would run at like other circuits like Fuji on here or Autopolis. But Unfortunately, they don't have as many Japanese tracks as I'd hoped for that are actually like popular in Japan. Like they don't have Motegi, which I think it's Honda that owns that track, if I'm correct, or maybe it's Toyota, and then Honda owns Suzuka. I can't remember. But it would have been cool to have more of that stuff. You'd think it would happen with a Japanese game, but not necessarily true. Like in Super GT, all the tracks that they run on there, I mean, it's like the main motorsport in Japan is Super GT, and they don't even have all the tracks that they use in the series. You know, we have Fuji, Suzuka, and Autopolis, but we don't have Motegi, we don't have Okayama, and we don't have Sugo. Sugo, I am super surprised isn't in this game, because it has a large history in Japan with motorsports. I think a little bit more, definitely more significant than Motegi. Okayama, everything I've seen has just been Super GT or JGTC related, but Sugo goes way back. So I don't know if it's on a similar history as like Fuji. I don't think it is, but you know, it's on a close level to Fuji in my opinion as far as the history that goes with the track and everything that has been there. It's kind of surprising, and I think that would be a super fun track to race. At least we have Scuba. I haven't had a game that has had Scuba since Forza 4, and this is like one of my favorite tracks. I could spend all day on Scuba, even though it's probably repetitive and boring for most people. I love this track. I just can't find time right now. It's getting slower. It appears. That was how faster. Right after I said going slower. Try and get a little bit better around here. Key to going fast around it with a stupid car like this is just not oversteering. But I've already lost all that time. Able to be smoother there, but I was up half a second, I think it said, and I lost half of that, and now I'm going to lose all of it because I don't know how to drive. I bet this is more amusing than it is entertaining, watching my awful driving skills. Having fun anyways. So while I got some of you guys in here, I guess I can kind of explain like Wakai attacked, and like kind of the idea behind that is to like have all of us like participating in building like our version of a shop car for these kind of classes that we have, and just battle it out, kind of like they did in Hot Version and Option, you know, just bring, like, given whenever they went and did the Scuba attack days and whatnot, that they didn't have like regulations. You know, it's kind of like the shop brought the car that they want to showcase and show like what they can do. So they basically brought like the best version of whatever chassis that they're working on. Like obviously JUN has multiple cars that they could have brought, multiple chassis that they've worked on, you know, but they bring out the best that they can, you know, to try and be the fastest on the track with their tuning abilities and setups and so on, you know. And so the idea of this is for us to try and do the same thing, but where we're not exactly going for the fastest time around the track. You know, it's more of supposed to be like a race, how they had like one-make races, or they'll battle new cars against, you know, not so newer cars, like in best motoring, comparing like FC versus FD, or S13, S14, R32 versus R33, you know, and see how the cars have developed, but taking that to the next level of having the shop cars, you know, and having a big group of people, you know, just being able to enjoy and share all that with each other, you know. I think in the hot version battles, whenever they come to Scuba, they got 3 different cars going against each other, I'm fairly sure. But if you've seen some of the best motoring stuff, they got 7, 8 cars on track at the same time. So I think it'd be really cool to have like a combination of the two, you know. We can all have our own theoretical shop-built cars, you know, going up against each other and on the tracks, you know. And I think it'd be something real fun, you know. You don't have to be the fastest if you're not trying to be competitive, but it's be able to have fun, you know, and enjoy the car, enjoy hanging out and racing with each other. But we'll see where it takes us. Hopefully there's more in store and build up to where we want to be. But with my limited amount of tuning knowledge in this game, I don't think I'll be able to get this car how I want it. For the fun of it, I'll buy some racing hard tires and see how close that gets us to their time that they did. Nope, not gonna save it. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna see the optimal time. Oh well. So, put a slick on it for fun, and we can see what we'll do. I've heard that on street cars, whenever you put racing slicks on, they actually kind of feel a little slippery. Like it's, I don't know. But it doesn't feel very slippery. I'm gonna go too fast now with racing slicks on this car. I mean, you can see how much more it's gripped up. Yeah, I know the time zones do suck, because I think you guys are 6 hours or so ahead of me. But I figured 7 p.m. would be like a decent time for like US and whatnot. But I do have one of my friends from the UK, although he has no idea what my shop is or anything. He comes in sometimes and races, but I think that's like midnight for you guys, 7 o'clock. For us is midnight for you guys. But yeah, look at this. This is retarded. That was an awful lap, and I beat the JUN time. So definitely not to be sport soft tires, but like the level or the physics in this like the difference between the sport soft tires and racing hard is retarded. But like I don't feel like it should be that big of a gap. You know, like I was running, what I run, like a 1 minute 8 or something, 1 minute 5 or something on sport softs, sliding around and whatnot. And then first lap out on these tires, you put down a sub 59. Like, it shouldn't be that big of a jump, in my opinion. But this should be more like a high mid 49 second tire or something. Should be more gradual than just a straight ramp up and compound. But if you could just get rid of the body roll in this car, but I think it's impossible basically. But this is retarded to drive. And I think my Group 1 class that I have set up for Wakai Attack is around 500 horsepower, and that's on sport soft tires. It's retarded. Or maybe it's 450. Either way, it's difficult to drive. This was kind of an unsuccessful attempt, but is what it is. But I think I'll call the stream off now, because there's not much more I can really do with my limited amount of knowledge. But I tried with my skill alone to do something. But I appreciate you coming to hang out, and next time hopefully have it a little bit more interesting. But you have a good night, and we'll see you guys next time.